you looking for new tips on how to scrapbook the boys with florals? Or maybe you're just looking for some mixed media inspiration. Either way, I'm sharing both in today's episode of Featured Florals. Hi crafty friends, Amanda here, and today's featured floral is the gorgeous Fresh Blooms stamp and die set. Isn't this a gorgeous set? Absolutely stunning. And yes, I'm featuring it with the beautiful pigment inks today. And first up, I'm going to share how I create my layered florals. So I'm starting with the jet black, and this is for the outline of the stamp. And this stamp, although it's a very simple and clean design, it's very uncomplicated. It does have some very beautiful tonal layers to it. You can create beautiful shade. Look at that. So I'm going to refer to the layering inspiration guide because it does help me to align my layers perfectly each and every time. So starting with my lightest colour first from the Glacier Caves Pigment Ink Bundle. This colour is called Arctic. And you can see the coverage for the mixed media pigment inks is just stunning. So smooth, so versatile, and just really easy to use. I absolutely love using the mixed media pigment inks. They're just really smooth and creamy and just so easy to use. So really beautiful. And as you'll see in one moment, the coverage is really good. Look at that. Only one coat even. I didn't have to come back and add more detailing. Second colour for my layering is called Caribbean Sky or Caribbean Sky, depending on how you pronounce that. And just adding that layer in, layer number 2. And you can see I do always go back to my inspiration layering guide because it really does help me. Sometimes I can think I've lined things up properly because I've looked at the image in one place and not realised. And it really helps to make note of all those little guide tips so that you can actually, I double check myself. Make sure you match up your stamp beautifully with the layer where it should go so that you don't end up with slightly off-centered layers. Now I'm using these gorgeous colours because of course I want a monochromatic vibe to my page. I'm scrapbooking the boys with florals, so I want to keep things clean and uncluttered, uncomplicated, and put the focus back on a raw and edgy boy page, even though I'm featuring these beautiful florals. So last colour here is Sapphire. And yeah, look at that. Look at those beautiful tones in the floral. Isn't that gorgeous? So it's a beautifully detailed, realistic floral, but it's not too busy. Now for my floral centers, I wanted to add, some warmth, but not a pop of color. So I'm actually going to use almond butter and hazelnut artist alcohol markers, and they're from the Water Garden Setchi set. And I'm using them because I just don't have those colors in inks at the moment. And these are a really lovely way, just to color as well, because you don't have to always stamp up your layers. You can color them as well. Do, however, make sure that your inks have been heat set before you add another medium like alcohol markers to them though. Just because those beautiful mixed media inks are very juicy and they are water soluble until heat set. So that's my little tip for them. So just adding that extra bit of tone there with the darker shade and then ready to die cut. So I'm using my mini blossom die cutting machine because that is perfect for most of our alternate florals. Occasionally there's one or two that are larger, but I find this is really handy because it fits on my desk easily. It's lightweight and so much easier to manage. So really nice on the wrist as well. So tell me, do you love to add mixed media to your scrapbook layouts, or are you a little bit nervous when it comes to using mixed media? Well, in a moment, I'm going to show you how I incorporate these very elegant blooms into a rather messy, edgy boy page. And it's not as scary as it might seem, so I hope you're going to give that a try with me. Firstly though, I am going to ink up that gorgeous foliage as well, just to again show you how I do my layering. So starting with the jet black again for outline, then it's frayed leaf, which is the lightest colour for the base of the leaf, and then I'll go and add forest glades and evergreen for the next layers, always referencing that layering guide just to make sure that I do in fact get my detailing in the correct position. And look at that, what a sweet little bloom and foliage set from the Fresh Blooms stamp set. Now I did mention that we were going to get messy, so I've pulled out my watercolour 36 pan set and my artist brush and brush set. This is the size 18 flat brush, which comes in the artist round set. So there are 2 sets of brushes available, watercolour brushes available in Ulta New Store at the moment, and this set is particularly a favourite of mine. You can see I've got my photograph there and I'm matching up my colours so that I can mimic the sky and ocean detail from my photograph into my background today. So I'm just going to use that lovely wide brush to create some really raw and edgy horizontal stripes across my page, but I want them to blend in a little bit as well. So just going to apply that straight on with the brush, nothing fancy, just straight on in. Now, if you're enjoying my video today, please don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons and hit that bell so that you don't miss another future video. But here we go. I'm going to speed things up a little bit because it does get a little bit messy, and it's a little bit slow because I just quite enjoy painting and I forget that it might be a little bit boring to watch the whole process, but it's nice to see. So you can see just adding in hints of turquoise, hints of aqua and blue, and then I'm coming in with some splatter as well. So really, really simple, just a little bit raw and edgy. And this is to offset all the florals, to take a bit of a raw, edgy, masculine feel to balance out the femininity of the florals. But while that's drying, I've gone and grabbed this gorgeous paper from the Live Your Dream collection. And I'm just going to really roughly cut out those watercolour strips there as well. And I'm going to use them to create some extra texture and layers on my layout today. So just going to fussy cut that strip. I've just got a whole bunch of pieces there. And then using my sewing machine, I'm going to very messily stitch them onto my cardstock base. So initially I start by positioning them out and trying to match up the colours, and then I decided that was too perfect and I wanted to go a bit more raw and a bit more messy. So there you go. I've machine stitched them, and the use of texture with mixed media is, you know, they're a match made in heaven really. But just having, a bit more to the page and really building it up will really help to make my layout sing. So coming away from the femininity of the flower and really giving it a masculine vibe as well. So there's balance. There's also balance because I've created a monochromatic look. There's a little pop of green, but generally the page is quite blue, keeping my photo as the focal point, but also making sure that the flowers blend in a little and don't stand out too much. So they're not dominating my layout. So it's really about making sure that the florals work for your photograph, no matter who's in the picture, rather than making it all about the floral, because the florals, they're always going to look gorgeous and be showstoppers, but we need to make sure that when we're scrapbooking that the emphasis is, of course, on the photograph or the story. So for me, scrapping the boys with florals is always about finding that balance. So I foam mounted my photograph to make it stand out. You'll also notice that I tucked all my florals underneath my photo except for that one, again because I don't want the floral to be the dominator, but they are so lovely that I do also want to make sure you can see them. Tucking in lots of foliage and leaves because that pop of green just cuts through all the blue and adds a little bit more interest to the page. Again, lots of texture, letting things rise up and be interesting. And then for more interest and to be a little bit bold, because it is a masculine page, I'm going to add some pop of black to cut through and almost strike through all that cool blue. And I'm going to use the puffy glossy alphas from the Live Your Dream collection. Pop in my title, Born to Surf, because as you can see, he's just come out of the ocean there with his board. He's had a great day out on the surf. And I'm going to also add, instead of sprinkles or glittery things or sequins, I'm going to add some black enamel dots. Again, that striking contrast just to finish off. And there you have it, a really, really simple approach to incorporating florals into masculine pages. I hope I have inspired you today. Lots of close-ups coming, of course, for you. Please don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching and have a wonderful, happy arty days. Bye.
Hello crafters, Jen here. For more tips, techniques, tutorials, and to discover which paper crafting products are right for you, subscribe to Altenews YouTube channel. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Thanks for watching.